The one thing I struggled the most with coming into small group were my squats and keeping my knees facing in, or keeping my knees out instead of in.
One thing I needed to work on most when I came to this small group was form and knowing what part of the body was actually supposed to be working with the exercise.
The one thing I thought I needed to work on the most was more than one thing. It was pretty much everything, because I hadn't done anything for a long time. So endurance, mobility, strength, balance, all of it. I just really was intimidated to do it because I wasn't sure I could, because it had been a while.
The one thing that I felt like I needed to work on the most was probably my balance and technique, just so that I do things the proper way.
The thing I most improved on is my balance.
One thing I think I've improved on the most from coming to small group is
Range of motion.
Definitely have improved on my balance.
being mindful of the exercise of the movement of the body, of where it's supposed to be affecting the body.
I've really been trying to do that. I've got problems with my shoulders, and just not be doing something for so long and sitting all the time. That's really something that it affects everything you do.
I don't think I realized that the core has so much to do with balance. Just something you don't think about. So a lot of the exercises we did focused on core. And the other thing that I've never really worked out in the mornings. I'm not a morning person, so this was a challenge for me.
My favorite part of small group was just the fact that I now know what I'm supposed to be doing properly.
I was super excited about being able to have the opportunity to do this with these girls.
Favorite part of small group was training with Brittany.
Also just knowing that I could do it. I didn't know that I could do it. I kind of felt like, well, I've not done anything for so long, maybe I'm past the game now, maybe I'm not going to be able to do it. And it really does build your confidence when you can do something that you couldn't do a couple weeks earlier or a couple months earlier or something.
In class, can actually feel the difference in the workouts, and actually can feel a difference in my body of what was supposed to be like, oh, I worked that muscle, it's supposed to be a little sore today. Okay, now I got something out of it. So my favorite part was just learning what I was doing wrong and fixing it.
Some of the things I like most about the small group is the one-on-one and pretty much going slow and really concentrating on the workouts instead of a huge class and running through each one.
I would highly recommend it, not only to the members here, but I would highly recommend small group training to anybody, because it is so beneficial.
Because it makes you grow and really understand your techniques that you have and bring it to class with you, so you can do each workout in class better.
It gets you out of everybody else around you, because when you have 20 girls around you and you're really not concentrating on what you're doing, you kind of know what you're doing wrong, but in small group, you have a chance to really concentrate and find out what you're doing wrong and practice the technique and get the little tips that you didn't think you needed. And it's like, okay, now I got it.
Every single exercise that we did, you would say over and over again, here's how to do it, this is what you want to do, this is what you don't want to do. So we knew exactly how it should look, and you always made it look easy, but it even wasn't easy. But we just knew kind of what not to do and how to make sure that we were getting the most out of it, so we wouldn't do, sometimes it wasn't a lot of reps, sometimes it was fewer reps, more strength.
Definitely would recommend small group to anybody. I think it helps improve your technique. It gives you discipline. You have to come. You don't have a choice. It's not something you can reschedule. And then also, I think it's just a good foundation to build on.
Yes, I would recommend small group to everyone in the studio.
I would definitely recommend small group to anybody in the studio or that I see.